Hi guys, welcome back to my channel For the Love of Glitter. I am Anna Chinen. Today I wanted to do a review for you for something that is new at the drugstore by Hard Candy, along with their metallic liquid lipsticks, which I did a review on and I will post down below. They came out with these Glamouflage Mix-In Pigment Makeup Drops, which sound a lot like the Cover FX drops, because if you read the back, which I will, it says foundation drops, and it says pigment-packed liquid drops that allow you to transform any primer, moisturizer, or foundation for coverage or shade. It says squeeze the dropper and add drops to any daily moisturizer or primer to create a custom foundation. The more drops you add, the higher the coverage. You can also add light or dark drops to any liquid makeup to custom match your skin tone. Shake well before use. So you can get these from Walmart and Walmart only, because Walmart's the only place that sells Hard Candy, and they have a wide variety of shades. I believe they have 12. I'm not really sure. I'll post down below for sure. But they have a good amount of shades, and you can either get lighter shades, so if you want to mix with darker foundations, like it said, you can get darkers if you have a foundation that's too light. So they're really fun and they're very versatile. Now, when I picked out my shade, I got the shade Light 1, and I was planning on using it as just a regular foundation. Now, the only reason why I went so light was because when I was comparing it next to the foundation that I normally use, which I know matches my skin tone, they looked the most similar in the bottle. Even my fiance helped me out, and I asked for his opinion, and he agreed that this was the closest one. I got home and, well, hello ghost face. I'm just wearing these makeup drops, but like I said, it's way too light, so normally I mix it with my darker foundation. Now I want to go back and buy a darker shade so that I can actually wear this as a foundation. I'm going to show you guys a close-up of this. They come in these little glass bottles, and you have your little dropper up here, and just for product reference, you get 0.5 fluid ounces, whereas with a normal foundation you get 1. So this is about half the amount of product that you'd get with normal foundation. You can hear it's very liquidy. It does tend to get messy, as you can see my lid, but that doesn't bother me, and it drips out really fast. Like, I'm not even pressing the top. Oops. And it just got even more messy. But as you can see, it's just very liquidy. It just drips right out. And it's very thin. But to me, it has pretty darn good coverage. It does have a dropper, but it is very liquidy, as you saw in the close-up. You don't even have to always use the dropper. It just it just drops out so fast because it's so thin and so liquidy. Now today, the reason why I decided to just wear this, so you really can see the coverage that it gives you, and in the demo you will see I use it with a primer. I use the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. Remember, whatever primer you are mixing it with is basically like the type of foundation you're gonna get. So for the first side, I'm just gonna apply primer and then apply it so you can see what it would be like if we just used it as a foundation. And then for the other half, I am going to go ahead and actually mix them prior so you can see what it would be like if you were trying to like make your own foundation. So we're just going to put that on half ice. It's so weird doing like half of your face. Before we use it, we want to shake it up really good so the product is blended nice before we get started. If you have like something like a surface you can put this on, I prefer to do that, just because I don't like to put it on the back of my hand, but of course you can do that. I'm just taking this little blank thing and I'm going to put a few drops on there. Enough to cover up this side of my face. 2, 3, 4, 5. we're gonna do 6 and we'll see how far that goes. So here it is right there. It's very, very, very liquidy, and I'm just gonna take it on my finger. Like if I were to compare this to something, I've never tried it before, but it reminds me of that liquid, what was it called, like Liquid Sands, that L'Oreal liquid foundation that had come out that everyone was like, this coverage stinks, but that's what it reminds me, if I had used that, what I would imagine the consistency to feel like. Not necessarily the coverage, just the consistency. So I actually think this has pretty good coverage, honestly. Now remember, I know this color is too light for me, but I just want to show you how well it covers. Do you see that? It's already like, I'd say definitely medium coverage, and I feel like it's buildable. Like if I got the right shade in this color, I'd be fine with using it as a foundation. So there's the side with it on. For the next one, it's the one where I'm going to mix with the primer, and I already have it on my little thing here, so I just have to mix it up. But as you can see, it's just a lot thicker of a primer. As you can see, now it looks like we just have a foundation that's really thick right there. And so I'm just going to take my finger and apply it. I did, again, I did the 6 drops, and then we will see. So basically what I want to see, and what I'm hoping we all can see, is if it changes like the coverage, if it's different. I do think that it blends out a lot nicer when there is mixed with something, obviously. I mean, I think that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and blend that in. This is way too light for my skin, but I hope that this is somehow helping you guys. Like, you can see that the texture has changed immensely. And I feel like it makes a little bit go a lot of a longer way than before. Like now I'm like, oh, I have too much on my face. You see that? And I feel like it looks a lot like whiter. I mean, it is like a white type of primer, but still, I don't know. So there it is with the primer down beforehand, and there it is mixed with the primer. I feel like the side that I mix it with the primer is not as smooth as this side that when I applied the primer down first. And I think it's because since it is so thin, it just adheres to your skin so much better. So I think I actually like it that way better. I really want to try this out in my skin tone color, because I think it would be a really nice foundation. See the difference? I think this side looks better. And this side, it's drying down, but it's taking longer, which I think makes sense because it has extra product in there. This is a complete full matte finish. Like, it feels just completely dry, and it transfers a little bit, but not a lot. I think that this has very good coverage, especially for how thin and liquidy it is. You wouldn't expect it to have such great coverage, but I would consider it anywhere from medium to full. I do believe you can build it up. The more drops you add, the more it's gonna be a full coverage. I have tested this so many different ways on its own, mixed with foundations, mixed with the primers. I have not tested it with a moisturizer yet, but honestly, it really depends what type of foundation consistency you like. If you like BB creams, mixing these with a moisturizer would be great for you because it'd give you the consistency of a BB cream. If you use a thinner primer, it's going to give you a thinner type of foundation. I like to use the Rimmel Stay Matte because it is a little bit thicker and it feels more like a real foundation. I like it on its own, probably better than mixing it with a primer though, just because it is such a thin consistency, so when you put it on, it just looks like it's pretty much your skin, but with really good coverage. It's just fun to play around with. I really enjoy these, and good job, Hard Candy. I think they're coming out with some really awesome stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing.